We continue right here on the Bordas and Bordas hotline of the Nightly Sports Call. It's 412-575-2600. Bob Pompeani, Paul Zeise with you. Got a tweet, and you can get those tweets in at KD Pomp or at Paul Zeise. Scott Moore says, will Casey DeSmith play for the Penguins this weekend? He, of course, is the backup goalie. He's never played. He's 26. He's up because of Antti Niemi being put on waivers and thus claimed by Florida. Paul, I would guess that he would. I mean, Matt Murray's been great last 3 games, just giving up 3 goals, and that's it. And he's been terrific at his homestand. But they got games at Minnesota, at Winnipeg, then they go to Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver. Yeah, why not play the kid? He's
yeah, they're going to have to use him at least once, or maybe twice even.
They got back-to-backs on Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
I'm guessing the Sunday game.
The Sunday game we'll see him, but I would even think a road trip like this, maybe you use him one other time.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, to me, you come back and you play at home. You know, obviously Matt Murray can handle the load. He's young, but to me, why not see what you got? And this is a great time to do it.
With regard to the Eastern Conference, some interesting teams developing. Tampa's been loaded and good. Toronto's been real good. We haven't even talked about Columbus and Washington. But the real surprise in the NHL, as I said before the break, was Las Vegas. They won again tonight. They are 8-1, the best beginning ever to an expansion team. James Neal got his 7th goal in 9 games. They're missing their top 2 goaltenders, and they keep on winning. Yet you look at Rick Tocchet's team. Arizona Coyotes are 0-9-1. He knew he was going into a tough situation, but that's pretty tough.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, 8-1 for Las Vegas, and they're doing it without Fleury. You know, the last what 4 or 5 games he's been out. That's pretty impressive to me. I can't imagine that's going to keep up.
No,
you would think that
they have 9 of the next 12 on the road.
Yeah, you would think that the season eventually will beat them up, but it's a good story while it lasts.
It is, and they set a record that they can't. Washington Capitals in their expansion season never got to 8 wins the entire year. They already have 8, which is pretty amazing. All right, we'll talk about the Steelers here coming up momentarily. Let's go out to Bob in Indiana, who kicks us off tonight. What's up, Bob? How you doing?
Hey, good. Thanks, Bob and Paul, for taking my call. I got a question. Do you think over the winter, when they look back at the instant replay for baseball, that they'll add foul balls or missed foul balls? Because I've seen Manning got tossed out of the game where the guy missed the ball and they said he hit it. And, I know you said replay takes time, but he spent probably 6 or 7 minutes till he got tossed and arguing. It would have been easier just to watch the replay and a couple minutes be done.
I agree. And listen, if you're going to be in replay, we've talked about it on football, it's got to either be all in or not. It's only going to get more advanced. But you're talking about that swing and a miss, which was called a foul tip. I didn't like that, Paul, because the original call was the right call by the umpire, and then he goes and confers with everyone else. And how does anyone besides a home plate umpire know that there was a sound? There wasn't.
And I'm with you, Bob, when it comes to replay. Either replay everything or don't replay anything.
Right. You can't do it halfway.
To me, I don't understand why, there's certain plays that aren't replayable. And I'll tell you the other thing. While we're at it, get rid of challenges. You don't need challenges.
You don't need challenges. I agree with that.
You've got someone in New York watching every game. Every close play, let them replay it, you know what I mean?
As long as they do it fast.
Right, they do it quick. I mean, to me, replay should take 15 to 20 seconds. If you can't tell in 15 to 20 seconds if it was wrong or right, then just leave on the field and let's go.
Plus, it's so sophisticated now, you should be able to tell in a short amount of time. Let's go to line 3, Fred in Newcastle. Hey, Fred, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to compliment Major Baseball on that opening ceremony this evening. I don't know if you saw that or not.
With J.J. Watt?
Well, no, baseball. The singing of the national anthem in that.
Yeah, but he threw out the first pitch. I thought you included that.
Well, that's true. That's right. But I like the National Football League, but I love my country, and I'm really disappointed that they haven't. The NFL hasn't been more. Insisted on stuff.
Well, and speaking of Houston, Bob McNair now is under a lot of fire for his comments now, and some of the Houston Texans today were thinking about boycotting their practice, leaving practice. And I can understand why. I mean, there's no reason to make certain comments that he makes. I don't. Here's
what I'm going to say about that. It was a figure of speech that's been used for years and years and years. But here's the thing.
You can't do it.
We can't be this thin-skinned. I'm going to tell you what, these NFL players, they're supposed to be big and bad, and they're the toughest athletes on the world. Yeah. They are the biggest babies. They've become the biggest thin-skinned whiners in any sport. I wish they would all just shut up and play football. Seriously, I'm so tired of it.
But my point is, as an owner, all these guys are under. You can't say it, so don't say it.
Well, here's what I would say if I was Bob McNair, but this is probably why I'm not an owner. I'd say you're going to be at practice, and if you're not, I'm going to suspend you. And guess what?
That's what Jerry Jones has pretty much said.
If you don't come to practice and we have to suspend all of you, we'll forfeit games. And you'll lose game checks.
And they will show up.
I mean, what a bunch of babies. Stop crying about everything. God.
Mike in Huntsville. What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Hi, how are you guys tonight?
All right.
I was wondering, do you think the Steelers are going to shut down the Detroit Lions offense this week?
Yeah, I do. And the reason I do is because I think their offensive line in Detroit's not been very good. Matthew Stafford has been Sackford. He's been getting hit quite a bit. Yeah. And I think the Steelers have shown that they can get to the quarterback. They're quick, they're elusive, they're physical. They have 24 sacks. They're on pace to a pretty good total, Paul, which has helped their secondary. But, I think they're going to be able to solve that offense.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll shut them down completely,
no.
But I think they'll stop them enough to win the game. It's going to be interesting to see. It's a fast track. It's an indoor on a fast track and a turf and everything. I think that's going to be a really interesting game because the Steelers are fast. Their defense, they've built it on speed.
It's unbelievable.
It's going to be fun to watch their defense on that field. But I think, the Lions will make a few plays on offense. And I could see this being a game like the Steelers finally break 30, win like 31-21 or something. I could see that.
I do. I think the Steeler pass defense is ranked number 1 so far, overall defense number 2. You may say those numbers are somewhat inflated because of some circumstances, but we'll see at the end of the year. I love the Joe Hayden acquisition. I think because of that acquisition, everything else has fallen into place in that secondary. And at the time, people wondered, and I was one of them, 3 years, $21 million for a guy who was released by Cleveland. They didn't want to pay a bonus, but also a guy who had injured in the last couple of years. You wonder, well, how much did he have left? How good could he be? If Cleveland didn't want him, why would Pittsburgh? But that was a good move, as it turned out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing is he's sort of, stabilized that secondary back there. And he's not quite Deion Sanders where he takes away half the field or whatever, but you can leave him out there and feel comfortable.
Nobody throws in his direction.
Exactly, and feel comfortable that he's going to do a good job.
And he's done exactly that. Line 2 we go. It's Matt in Uniontown. Hey, Matt, welcome to the Sports Call.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Okay. What do you think the future of number 93 is, Daniel McCullers for the Steelers?
I don't know. He hasn't, he's been part of the rotation barely. I would have expected more from him just given his size, Paul. I mean, when I saw him first coming into Pittsburgh, I said, this guy's going to be able to occupy double teams. He really hasn't done that.
No.
Like a guy like Tyson Alualu did. If you look at videotape from coaches' perspectives up top, you'll see Alualu is really good.
Yeah, and he's active. He's very active. And, I think the big thing about it is you can't just be big anymore.
No, you got to be quick.
And I think everybody thinks every big guy is going to be Casey Hampton. That guy was like such a freak of nature athletically, wasn't he?
He was.
I mean, he wasn't just big. And I'm starting to think McCullers is just big.
He's just big.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what he is.
He's been around for a few years. I expected more advancement than I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Bethel Park. We have Mike. What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
What's
Love
up?
your show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to comment about the Houston owner and his comment, and I like what Paul said. I know my grandmother said for years about, don't let the inmates run the prison. That was just a reference where the employees have to be loyal to the
I totally understand
employers.
I totally understand it.
Yeah, he didn't say black inmates only. And if you look at the prison system, not to go too far here, you have probably 25 different nationalities in our prison system. And I think what Paul said, there is overreaction on all.
Yeah, my only point was, given the climate that exists, why put yourself through by even saying anything? You have to think ahead of, and he should know better. That's
I agree, but God, I mean, you can't say anything anymore.
But don't you expect a response when something like that comes out?
Again, my response.
Okay, but
here's
I'm saying
the thing.
generally.
Is he a billionaire?
He's a billionaire.
Okay, so he's reached a certain status of rich where basically you don't have to worry about what people think or say.
He apologized.
Well, that's because, I'm sure he got pressure.
That's my point.
But
Stay away from it
But here's the
altogether.
thing. What do these apologies mean?
Nothing.
We live in a society where everyone just apologizes. We say something stupid, or we say something that's not even stupid. Somebody finds it offensive. You know what?
Stupid.
So basically what we should all do, those of us especially who are on TV or on the radio or whatever, I apologize
For anything
for anything I'm going to say or anything I did say, I apologize. There we go. You should do that too.
All right, we apologize. We have to take a commercial break because we're just getting going. We'll have more calls on the way. It's 412-575-2600 right here on the Nightly Sports Call. It's the Bordas and Bordas Hotline.